my darlings, welcome back to another one of my fragrance diaries. This is a series that I've been doing that helps me keep on top of my fragrance collection. It's been a fantastic way for me to learn about fragrance in terms of notes and what works in different weathers and different situations, and I've been really enjoying it. But before we get into today's video, I would love to let you know who I am. Just in case you don't know, my name is Ijeoma. I'm a beauty lover, a skincare influencer, a pro makeup artist, and a woman of a certain age, and I feel like all these things truly inspire everything that I do on my channel. September and October they have been good. It's also been the 2 months where I've been like, I need more perfume money. Yeah, I do, but it is well. It's been good. I've been wearing a lot of samples, not a lot, but enough. I'm really trying to tidy up my collection. So let's first start with samples and decants. Starting off with Jezebel from Anka Kus. This is, I think, my first gourmand that I've fallen in love with. This is what I want from a gourmand. I want a heavy hitter. I want something very grown, very sexy, very sensual. Thankfully, this decant was full when I got it, so I have experienced this both in the summer, both in the winter. I prefer it in cooler weather. It's a little bit too much in the warmer weather, but this is a stunner, and I want a full bottle. Now, this is an Australian house, so it's not easily accessible to me. If anything, if it was in front of me and I had the money, I would buy it immediately. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Oh, let's spray her. Let's spray her. Immediately, I opened the top of the decant. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, very, very sexy, very sensual. And on my skin, it plays a little bit animalic, which I like. Oh, this has blown my mind. I really, really like this. You've got to be a rose lover to like this. You've got to like deep, rich, smoky scents. It is apt. The name is apt. Jezebel. Everything you know about Jezebel is exactly what this scent is. Rebellious, sensuous, rule breaker, sexy, cannot be tied down. This is a kind of fragrance that needs a lot of confidence to wear. It plays beautifully on my skin. It shines. I want a full bottle. I want more perfume money. Now, I feel like the chocolate and the vanilla are what make this smoky. It's a dark chocolate and a slightly bitter vanilla. It's just well done. Enough rambling. All I can say is well done. I will put up a picture of the bottle as I read you some of the beautiful notes in this fragrance. There's dark chocolate, pear, musk, vanilla, rose, amber, jasmine, and osmanthus. Definitely full bottle worthy for me. If it was in front of me and I had the money, it would be a buy it now type of situation. Next up is Cypress Mousse from Oriza Legrand. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a very old French house. This is also another beautiful fragrance that I want the full bottle. I am capable of saving for this. It's only France. It's not far away. It can come here. There is something very classy and minimalistic about this fragrance. It's very earthy, very sensual, very smart. It's very me. It's also a little bit mossy, a little bit wet. This is not a crowd pleaser. This is not a fragrance that everybody will run to go and buy. This is for a select few. And the biggest thing that I got when I wore this fragrance is I felt this is the fragrance for a minimalist. And a minimalist who loves natural fabrics, like they wear leather, they wear linen, they wear cotton, and the best of it. And this is their signature scent. And everywhere in their house smells like this. You go to their cupboard and it smells like this. There's just something about this scent that is so signature scent worthy for the right person. Now, this fragrance has a lot of personality. Just like Jezebel, you need the confidence to wear this fragrance. This is something I would buy. As I'd mentioned, I want this bottle. I made sure to leave enough so that we could experience it together. Medicinal, green, sharp. It's me. It's a classic IJ scent. You'll smell me and smell money. You'll smell me and know that I'm not wearing your regular schmegular. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I want more from this house. I want to experience a little bit more. I was really intrigued when I was doing a little bit of research on this house. It has such history to it, and I really like that. This is an old fragrance as well, and they don't have many fragrances in their house. They just make classic and staples. This was made, I think, in 1929, and it was made for the dandy. If you know what a dandy is, you will totally get where I'm going with this scent. A dandy is a very fashionable, sexy, fresh, rule-breaking kind of man who's really comfortable in himself. Think George Clooney. He embodies dandy energy. Oh. I need more perfume money. End of story. Once again, I will throw up an image of the bottle as I read you the scents of Cypress moss. There's fennel, mint, oak moss, mastic, fern, soil, chestnut, leather, and pine in this. It is a very complex fragrance. I've only mentioned some of the notes that are in it. If you like the bougie, if you like niche, if you like having things that other people are not talking about, I think the Legrand house is definitely one to check out. Next up is Beeswax from Sept Oct. Another one that I want. This is Astana. It is so different. It is not what I expected. When I heard beeswax, I was waiting for a sweet, honey, syrupy type of situation, and this is not that. It's a little bit more than that. In fact, it's a lot more than that. It's smoky and waxy and thought-provoking, and in fact, when I wore it, I asked myself, okay, is this where niche fragrance becomes either obnoxious or is it truly an art? Like, are you just doing too much for the sake of doing it, or is this really an art? And only you can answer that question. But to me, the perfumer really decided to take beeswax and run with it, and I celebrate him. I truly do. This is a very interesting scent. It also has a neutrality to it. It doesn't lean masculine or feminine. This is something that all genders can wear, but this is not a fragrance for everyone. There's some people who will be repulsed by this, and there's some people who will insist on having the big bottle, and I want the big bottle. Oh, there's something green and bitter about it as well. I didn't expect it. You know, when you hear beeswax, you're waiting for honey. You know, you're waiting for a floral. You're waiting for something open and bright, and this is not it. It's close and heady and beautiful. Is it art? Is it obnoxious? I don't know, but I want a bottle. That's all I know. Once again, I will throw up an image of the bottle as I read you some of the notes. There's tea, beeswax, smoke, tobacco, peas, and spice in this fragrance. Even just the note composition. Obviously, the perfumer decided, you know what, I'm going to really play in my playground of scent and create something fantastic. And I think they have. I really think they have. I want to try more from Sept Oct. I want a full bottle of beeswax. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I then got a sample of the classic Aromatics Elixir from Clinique. Now, because I am a classic girl, this is a scent profile that I have in my collection. So this didn't really stand out to me. Regardless, I am quite happy that I have met it and I have experienced it. I did get a compliment from an older man, so that is saying something. And also, I would like to just shout out that I don't know how Clinique has done it, but they have still maintained this high ticket price for this fragrance. It is an old fragrance. It was made in the 70s, and it's still not cheap. How are they doing it? Why are they doing it? It must be the customer loyal. And at the end of the day, it is a classic. Yeah, it is a classic. You know, it is a patchouli bomb. There's a bit of oak moss in this. It's a big floral. You can't go wrong with it if you like this type of scent family. I would like a small bottle for my collection just for the sake of the culture. It's not something that's urgent, but now that I've experienced it, I appreciate it. I like that it's in my scent library, memory library, that is. And yeah, now some of the notes in Aromatics Elixir are chamomile, coriander, incense, rose, oak moss, carnation, orris, and jasmine. We'll see about getting a small bottle just for the culture, just for the culture. Now let's get into the full bottles that I have been wearing. I've been wearing one of my favorites and possibly one of my top 10s. This is Bluegrass from Elizabeth Arden. I love it. It is a big floral, very mumsy, very citrusy, very comforting, easy to wear, the kind of thing you could wear for very many situations. You're going for your girly dates, you might be going for a really cozy date night, running to the shops, wear it to the office. I think it is signature scent worthy for a certain type of person, somebody who likes really warm citrusy scents that have a bit of an edge to them, because this has aldehydes, so it makes it a little bit more bright. This is also an old fragrance, and this particular bottle is a vintage formulation. Now I have tried the new formulations as well. They're quite similar, so you don't have to go running looking for a vintage formulation. But I just like the old school bottles. They're quite beautiful. There's something nice about them. The new bottles don't really do anything for me, but yeah, I love Bluegrass. It's something I like to wear in the winter. It feels very comforting to me. I absolutely love wearing this to bed as well and just running errands. An easy reach for me and a definite recommendation from me. Some of the notes in Bluegrass are aldehydes, lavender, spice, neroli, sandalwood, musk, bergamot, and cedar. Let's spray her because I know how she smells like. Yeah, very mumsy, very comforting. I love the citrus in this. I love the spices in this. Yeah, definitely want to check out. It's really affordable and it's a great classic. Let's talk about another classic. This is Knowing from Estee Lauder. Once again, I'm a classic girl, so this is a scent profile that I do have in my collection, but I am glad to have met it and know it for the sake of the culture. Yeah, a classic Ijeoma scent, a very big floral with the classic notes of oak moss and patchouli and civet in the base. Spicy as well. I get it. I get why people love this scent. I get why it's a cult classic. I don't see myself rushing to finish this. And I also don't know if I would repurchase this, but if there was some body care in this range, like, do they have a body butter? If they did, I would buy it. Some of the notes in the classic Knowing are aldehydes, coriander, green notes, patchouli, oak moss, civet, spices, orange blossom, tuberose, and plum. If you're a classic girl and you haven't tried it, don't buy it. Go to an Estee Lauder counter and smell it first. You might find, just like me, you have quite a few similar fragrances in your collection, so buying this may feel a little bit redundant. But yeah, I'm glad to have met it. I'm glad to have it. I've got quite a few classics in this video. Once again, this is Samsara by Guerlain. I get it. I absolutely get it. I get why this is such a favorite. I get why people love this. It is very feminine and sensual and somewhat easy to wear and also classic. It ticks very many boxes that make it very feminine, very classic, very signature scent worthy. I totally get why there is a serious love for this scent. Grown, it's sexy, it's playful, and I think that powderiness is what makes it a fragrance that's even loved a little bit more. But I get it. Now my skin doesn't really care that this is Samsara considering I have the OG bottle as well. Rude. So I get about 2 hours from this, but I am looking forward to wearing it in slightly warmer weather, maybe just before summer breaks. I'm hoping that it will shine a little bit more on my skin. But because this is an old bottle, I am going to be very mindful about how I wear it. I'm absolutely not going to be rushing through wearing this. In fact, I'm very lucky to have it and grateful to have it. Some of the notes in Samsara are ylang ylang, lemon, iris, jasmine, violet, vanilla, and musk. The last classic of the roundup. This is a vintage formulation of Timeless from Avon. Let me tell you, there's been a debacle with my Timeless. They have discontinued it. Why? Why? It was some of the best £5 I've ever spent in my life. And let me tell you, I love Timeless. I love Timeless. So when I took this out to wear it, I thought, oh, let me take out my new bottle and try it and see if there's a difference. And I went into my backup stash and I didn't have any. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll go to the Avon catalog and get another one. It's not there. So I contacted my Avon lady and she was like, it's been discontinued. Nobody even had the audacity to consult with me about such matters. Rude. So now, Timeless is going for like £20–25 on eBay. £5. £20–25. Now, I know it does not sound like a lot, but listen, I was used to paying £5. Okay, let me end my rant there. Timeless is a fave for me. In fact, possibly also in my top 10s. It is a beautiful, fresh floral that's warm. It reminds me of being outside and it's warm and the grass is being cut and I can smell the sweat of the person. Ooh, Diwali fireworks. Anyway, I can smell the scent of the person cutting the grass. There's something very sensual about Timeless. It is a well-loved fragrance for a reason. It is a classic for a reason. Let's take a sniff of this. Yeah, I love me my Timeless. I hope it comes back because I really don't see myself spending £25 on it. That's rude. I'm going to give it a year or so. Let's see. Avon might bring it back. People might make enough noise and they feel like they need to bring it back. Let's see. Let's be hopeful. Maybe they're repackaging. What is this? Why? Can we also celebrate how cool Avon was for coming out with a bottle this fantastic? This is a formulation, I believe, from the 80s. Absolutely love the bottle. Now, some of the notes in Timeless are aldehydes, gardenia, lemon, patchouli, cedar, amber, musk, and iris. Are we really going to pay £25 for something we used to pay £5 for? I have one more old fragrance to get through. I don't know if this is a classic, but it is an old fragrance. This is Remi Latour Tendre. Now, I was at the boot sale and some guy was selling lots of vintage fragrances and he was selling them for dirt cheap. So I got about 3 of these bottles. They were 15 ml. So I thought, get 3, that gets you about 45 ml. If you like them, at least you have a bit to experience. And I like this and I should have bought more. I really like this. This is how I like a floral. It's very fresh. It's not too sweet. It's not heady. It's open. And it's also a floral that shines in the winter. And because my collection is so heavy and so dense, sometimes I need something really light to just, you know, switch things up and give my fragrance palette something else to consume. And this is really nice. I've just taken it out of the box and this is what it looks like. It's in a kind of like a pour bottle situation. So I had to decant it into a spray bottle so that I could actually use it. It's very simple, but it's beautiful. Now it does have peach and apricot in this and I was a little bit worried because I don't particularly like fruity florals. But the peach and the apricot in this are not overwhelming. It's more the florals that shine. In fact, she reminds me of, now that I think about it, she reminds me of Beauty by Elizabeth Arden. a very well done floral that's not too busy, very classic, very feminine, open and fresh. Diwali fireworks, we're going to ignore them as we get through this video. Yeah, beautiful. I remember wearing it, and the next day I was going through my clothes and I was like,
what is that smell? What is that smell? Is that Remi? Is that Tendre? Is that what I wore yesterday? Damn.
Really nice. In fact, I've also been enjoying wearing it to bed. Not easy to get. I have seen it on eBay. Is it a run walk situation? Not necessarily. You could get yourself Beauty by Elizabeth Arden and experience what I'm experiencing with this. But I'm really enjoying it and I'm glad to have it in my collection. I am an oldie girl. I do love to have my old fragrances, and this one is from 1989, the year I was born. All good things were made in 1989. Now, some of the notes in Tendre are apricot, green notes, violet leaf, rose, heliotrope, lily of the valley, amber, vanilla, and woodsy notes. Really surprised me. I didn't expect it to catch my attention the way it has. Yeah, really happy to have that in my collection. Last and certainly not least, this is Pertichor from the Library of Fragrance. This is a very interesting thing. Very interesting thing. First, let me tell you what Pertichor is. It is the smell of rain when it hits the ground on a dry day. Google it. It's a little bit more complex than that. But the Library of Fragrance is known to do such type of scents. They will pick up one situation and turn it into a scent, which I think is very clever and fun. And if you like to layer your fragrances, or you're a one note type of person, I really do think that is a house to check out, and their stuff is quite affordable. Now, this is very interesting. I think it's a valiant attempt at Pertichor. I really do think it is. I also think it's the kind of scent that will smell different on different people. The reviews are very varying, and it is an indication that, yeah, this is that kind of perfume that smells different on different people. For me, it is very watery, very metallic, very cold. It's something to experience if you love watery scents. It's something to experience if you love to just experience different things. If anything, it really caught my attention, and every time I wore it, I thought, it was nice to wear to bed after a shower, and jumping into bed felt very fresh to wear it. It's not a run walk situation for me. I don't know if I would repurchase it. I don't see myself quickly finishing up the bottle. You know, this would be very interesting as a candle as well. It's a very valiant attempt to capture something that is so natural, so potent. You know, we all love that smell, and we call it the smell of rain, but it's really not the smell of rain. I implore you to Google Pertichor. It's a very interesting concept. Very interesting how so much happens between the rain, the soil, the earth. When it's interesting, just Google. Pertichor only has two notes, and that is soil tincture and watery notes. And that's that. That's what I wore in the months of September and October. Lots of classics. I need more perfume money. But regardless, a lot of joy and happiness. I am going to make sure to list all the fragrances that I have talked about in the description box down below, so you can do yourself a little bit of happy shopping. I want to thank you so much for being here. My name is Ijeoma, and I'll see you soon.